Hello and welcome on today's episode of podcast Leading by Example by Konica Minolta. I'm Aleksandra, product marketing expert. Today we are diving into two areas that transform manufacturing, collaborative robots and visual inspection. To guide us through this journey, I'm joined by two remarkable experts from Konica Minolta, Bahadur Ibrahimov, Head of Advanced Automation Solutions Competence Center, Konica Minolta Europe, and Anton Krantev, Head of Intelligent Video Solutions at Konica Minolta Bulgaria. Before we jump into the discussion, I would like to both give you a moment to introduce yourselves. Bahadur, let's start with you. Tell us a bit more about your background and what focuses you at Konica Minolta.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. I'm glad to be here. My name is Bahadur Ibrahimov. As you mentioned already, I'm leading the Advanced Automation Solutions Competence Center in Europe. And this is a central team of engineers, project managers, and experts in automation to enable our customers to get the best advice and best solutions to automate their processes, and especially focusing on quality and inspection. My background is pure robotics. I have been and still am in academia for robotics and handling devices. And yeah, since almost 7 years I'm working at Konica Minolta and part of the happy family.
And Anton?
Hello, my name is Anton Krantev. I'm a leader of Bulgarian Video Solution Services team that we are obligated to educate the market and show the new trends of technologies related to video that can help improve the quality of productions and security of all kind of sites. I'm in Konica Minolta since already 6-7 years. My background is mainly sales, a lot of technical and telecommunication, and have more than 50 years of IoT experience in the market.
Thank you both. Let's start. Baha, you work across different countries and industries. What trends in robotics do you see abroad that are now starting to appear in our region?
You're right. I have privilege to work across many countries in Western Europe, Eastern Europe, and sometimes in Asia Pacific as well. Although the trends and the topics are quite, let's say, different, but the motivation for automation is always the same. It is to increase efficiency, decrease the cost, increase productivity in such sense. There are a little bit differences. Of course, Western Europe manufacturers are more focused in standardization and already adapting the lot size 1, so small lot size flexible manufacturing. Eastern Europe is covering this up very well with the high talented and easy access engineers. Nevertheless, of course, the demographic situation as well as overall economic situation is also let's say driving the innovation and automation. So I cannot really say that something is there more or less or the major differences. Also, some of the areas Eastern Europe is leading in terms of automation and especially easy and fast adoption. But what I can say is there is definitely room for improvement in terms of adoption of collaborative robots and collaborative automation in Eastern Europe. That is under the radar, and it is coming more and more in Eastern Europe.
Great. And Anton, how would you describe the current maturity level of manufacturers in Bulgaria when it comes to video analytics and visual inspection?
I can easily say that the market is very dynamic, but the maturity level is actually growing. It started a long time ago, but it's still growing. There is a few companies that have already adopted some AI solution on mainly camera-based edge analytics configuration that improve their quality management, their production facilities, and the overall tasks. But mainly they're still using CCTV and camera vision for post-processing tasks, and mainly for security.
So Baha, when is a company truly ready to automate its processes, not just add a robot?
Yeah, robot has been a buzzword for a long time, and you're right that some companies were focusing on just adding a robot and robotize. This shouldn't be the focus. Robot is a integral part of overall automation. First of all, I don't think that there is right time and right setup for look at automation. I think it's all the time, and earlier is better if companies are looking for the automation, because sometimes the automation is requesting some process changes, and earlier considering this is better in terms of cost on a later stage. So I think to have what is the readiness for the companies is mainly seeing the future, being able to let's say keep flexibility in terms of automation. And at our advanced automation solution competence center, when we advise to customers, we are not always talking about the robots or cobots, because we are truly trying to understand the pain points and what efficiency we need to bring and what is the right solution. And sometimes, of course, the answer is not robot or cobot, but the other things. But in majority of the cases, of course, with the advanced technologies, it is usually a robot or the cobot. So overall, I think looking at the process, looking at the future, and starting as early as possible, those three pillars of mindset is required to look at automation, nothing else.
And for Anton, what is the hardest part of implementing visual inspection? The technology maybe, the process changes, or people's mindset?
If I have to answer directly, it's process changing and altogether with changing people mindset. Because I've seen a lot of technologies deployed in several facilities, but without the additional changes that are required to be done in the processes of this facility, of the people that should adopt this solution and use it right. This can become isolated island, technological island of solution that the client at the end cannot benefit from it at all. It just gather some 10 to 20% beneficial of that whole solution. So to repeat again, the direct answer is people are and will be in the middle, in the center, and the process should be around the technology and the result that is expected from it.
Great. And let's deep dive into the case studies. So Baha, I know that there's a project with an incredible example of industrial printing inspection. What are the barriers that needed to overcome when automating this process?
Probably you're referring to the industrial print color quality adjustment, which is a new sphere technology-wise, but already it has been the stronghold of Konica Minolta for many years, as you know. Konica Minolta is one of the market leaders in color measurement devices and overall color and appearance, like gloss, haze, gonio measuring devices. Those devices, as well as the industry lead or industry need, was for spot measurement, so measuring one spot in a diameter of let's say on average 7 millimeters. But of course, the industry is willing to have color consistency and color control over the whole let's say area. So pixel-based measurement came into the game, especially in the direct to substrate printing. Of course, it is ideal for customers, for the industry, to print whatever is interesting for the end users and whatever looks good and so on. and those things could be very some lines that are much smaller than 7 millimeters. So that's how we tackled this, how we took this challenge and tackled it with our technology for hyperspectral cameras. With the hyperspectral cameras, we are able to scan the whole area and get a very accurate color mapping of the area, and with our already existing color knowledge and technology to be able to work backwards to adjust the printing quality or formulation quality in such case. With that, we are able to address or solve the challenges of our industrial partners when they have different production in different times and the colors do not match. And then we are now finally able, and if I'm not mistaken, we are first in the industry to do that. We are able to color control and color correct of overall surfaces in the pixel level.
Great. This is a great example of how Konica Minolta could be so broad in this process. So another great project that I know is Volkswagen. What does it take to deploy robotics in such strict high standards environment?
Yeah, definitely Volkswagen is one of our partners and our main partner in developing Competence solution. You are absolutely right. Volkswagen is definitely an industry leader and highly standardized in terms of operations. Nevertheless, they are also flexible enough and future thinking enough or innovative in that sense to be able to automate. The lessons learned for us, for example, what we have done together with Volkswagen is also color measurement or testing automation. So basically a laboratory automation with them together that are not only fitting to existing realities, but also flexible enough to adjust for future realities that would come. From that perspective, I think you don't have to have a scale of the Volkswagen to really do things as they are doing, but keeping in mind of the future trends, it is important to address those challenges, because the production environment now, especially in nowadays economic situation, it is more and more uncertain. We don't know what we're going to produce in 3 years or 5 years, but we want to have the setup to be able to produce in the level. So from that perspective, I think this flexibility mindset and future thinking would be the ideal cases to learn from Volkswagen. And again, you don't have to have the scale of them. Also small and medium-sized enterprises, production or manufacturers should be thinking of this future and should not be afraid to invest in automation now because they don't know what will happen. This is exactly the right motivation for them actually to invest, to be prepared for the future challenges.
Great. You have also worked on a project involving bottle sorting in an industry with high product variety. What are the challenges do cobots solve better than people?
These are like different ages. You are absolutely right. Where we have in the laboratories or laboratory testing environment, we don't have this high pressure on the time and the let's say cycles. On the other hand, as you rightfully mentioned, we have projects in the fast-moving consumer goods area, and definitely the cycle time there is important. But where robots and cobots are come into the game is when the variety is big, that is too complicated for people to remember, where high precision is needed and also continuity, resilience is needed in that sense. And what robots or overall cobots and automation is good at, of course, the repetitive tasks much better than the operators, and also the precision in terms of quality, especially sorting, is a very important area where we have to have a very close collaboration and, let's say, shoulder working with colleagues like Anton to bring the video, let's say, visual inspection into the game, because robot is just one tool and is just a hand. It needs eyes and brain that is being brought by the colleagues here.
Great. And Anton, from your perspective, how is the video analytics evolving from security to technology that supports operations and decision making?
It is a good and quite broad question, but I'll try to summarize it. So basically, when people talk about surveillance or video, everybody is thinking about old security system, some guard that has to overview the security system or the recording afterwards, and that's it. But I'm seeing and I'm trying to spread through the market that this was the old days. Now everything is changing. We have to utilize those technology that can be provided together with the CCTV to generate events, and the generation of events can create actions, and those actions can be automated, and at the end we will have automated event-based actions that from time to time can be overviewed by some qualified person. And this can be done combining video technologies, special on edge analytics that can be inside the cameras. They are quite powerful already, so we can utilize their processing power, and also to have a unified interface that will be and can be useful to that person that has to review and see all the changes and all the actions that is happening, and review all that big data that can be generated from that kind of solution itself.
As we go deeper in Industry 5, what are the most requested visual-based projects in Bulgaria?
If we talk about visual-based projects that companies are requesting, it is mainly visual quality inspection projects that can include defect detection, object classification and counting, all of that things that you need a very high quality camera and a good AI after that can analyze every single frame, can recognize every single item on the frame, and if that item has some kind of a production flaw or error, or it does not match the specific requirement. And this can be done combining those two with on very high precision and high speed.
Great. In Baha, how do companies react when they automate a process? How do you earn the trust of engineers and management towards collaborative systems?
I think it was maybe a few years back, or until a few years back, there was a strong opposition into automation overall, because in people's mindset, automation was about replacing people. Nevertheless, I think this paradigm is changing towards more collaboration and collaborative automation, and that's why we are emphasizing on that, and this is where our focus lies. Collaborative automation is, as name implies, to work together hand in hand with operators, because in majority of the current modern processes, we cannot automate it without a human in the game. So operators should be able to be there to make decisions, to oversee activities, as well as in first place to teach the robots what to do or cobots what to do. And in some cases, especially when it needs human dexterity or human senses, then it would be human to take over the more let's say more works that needs those requirements, and give the repetitive tasks to the robots or cobots in that sense. From that perspective, I think the adoption now and acceptance from the manufacturers are much better, and operators. Of course, how to overcome this is usually automation is a need that is coming top down. right? Because you need efficiency, better numbers, less costs, higher productivity, and so on. But if you, and that is our principle as well, include the operators, the real problem owners from the very beginning, then it goes totally in different direction and totally in the good adoption. Because at the end of the day, actually, with automation, we are solving operators' problems, and we give them more time to do more cognitive tasks, not hand tasks. And I think involving them from the very beginning, taking their considerations seriously, and also keeping them in the center is something that is overcoming those challenges.
Great. And Anton, what are the most underestimated use cases in thermal or visual monitoring that brings quick ROI?
The return of investment is very important letters in terms of innovation and adopting new technologies, because everything that we are talking about is very good, very fancy, it's the future, it is nice to have, everybody wants it, but at the end it must be paid by something, and that something usually is return of investment. So the most interesting task that can be done and easily can be deployed, that you can calculate the return of investment, is predictive maintenance of some equipment. For example, we can use camera as a sensors, different type of cameras. Some cameras can be used as a visual sensors, some cameras can be used as a thermal sensors. We have thermal radiometry technology, and in some of our cameras that can measure quite precise the temperature of each pixel in the picture. That can give us the momentum state of any kind of monitorized equipment. For example, we can use it in equipment that there is a lot of friction, and we can see when the temperature is rising depending on what kind of circumstances and load. So we can adjust the load and the speed of the production, maybe to reduce that temperature and to lower the risk of leakage of something or breaking the expensive machinery. Other tasks can be done strictly by visual cameras with some analytics, and they can also react on different scene setup, and based on the recognition of the camera, we can then use that data, analyze it, and create that prediction that I was mentioning earlier. This can easily help us increase the work time of any equipment and reduce the additional cost when something is malfunctioning, because it's not only the cost of repairment. You have to calculate also the time when all the process is stopped, what the company will lose when this process is stopping, and the loss can be generated afterwards when you deliver goods, equipment, or items that are not met 100% the quality standards. This can also include into ROI calculation, and it's very important.
So your team has many interesting projects related to visual inspection and visual as a whole. You mentioned protection, inspection, recognition, and so more. Do these applications, what kind of applications they have in a common factory to make it as something big and whole? So the integrations between them.
The integrations between all of the system is very important. As I said earlier, all of those cameras on smart things we can use as a sensors. But those sensors can combine information and send it to centralized software that can analyze that data and take actions based on predefined circumstances. So we can take action depending on the temperature. For example, is the temperature high enough, or if we have rapidly exceeding the temperature for a period of time. For example, in 10 minutes, we have a temperature in Celsius that will increase double of the measurement itself. And this can easily tell us that something is wrong or something is not happening as it should be. These are the cause and effects that can be raised by those sensors and should be utilized by the software afterwards, so we can create preventive actions based on those detections of the simple sensors. And commonly there is several software platforms that can combine such an information, but a strong and powerful VMS, video management system, can utilize a lot of visual cameras, a lot of different data generated by it, and make that integration whole for the user at the end to see it wisely, and also to make communication between the sensor and different software easily.
Great, great. And for some final words, Baha, how do you see the role of humans evolving? What does human-machine collaboration look like in the future?
Yeah, as I mentioned, in our processes, especially in Konica Minolta's advanced automation solutions, we are focusing on keeping the human in the center and human-centric approach. And therefore, of course, this changes operators' role from day-to-day doing repetitive jobs to, in one way, babysitting the robots and also teaching the robots and operating. Of course, productivity increases significantly because there is some sort of a limit of course, of human interaction. In first place is time. We don't have time, right, or not enough time. But for the robots, as they can work days and nights. This is at least tripling the working time. From that perspective, the human evolution is, of course, is from being operator or being hands-on to managing and overseeing operations in an or automated environment. And this is all about Industry 5.0. It is about sustainability, human centricity, as well as resilience. So therefore, I think keeping human in the center of whole work, and should evolve also them into more technological mindset and more adaptive mindset. Not necessarily the education. For example, to manage the cobots, you don't have to know the coordinate systems or I don't know, do the coding. And that's a big advantage because you can just with hand drag and show them like here, and so on. This is more about the mindset, and this mindset evolution should happen, and I'm glad to say that it is already happening.
Great, great. And Anton, from your perspective in 2030 factory, what role will visual data and AI analytics will play in everyday operations?
That's very near future, as I can say, but in that near future, I see that most of the companies will utilize those type of visual analytics and machinery that can improve the day-to-day tasks. Again, what Baha said, with a center in center, putting the person behind. So definitely both technologies should work together for a better future. That doesn't mean that we will get much less people working on production side. Instead of that, the production side can improve speed, improve cost efficiency by overseeing these rapidly repeating processes by some visual inspection tool that can do it instead of a person. Yeah, I think that's the near future for 2030. And I can add one more thing, that the combination between the humans and the technology is result driven. So the humans need to trust the technology a little bit more and get used to it and get used to use it and trust the results of it so they can improve their work also.
Thank you both for joining us today, Anton and Bahadur. And thank you all for listening us. We hope this podcast gave you useful insights for today's manufacturing. If you want to learn more, feel free to contact us at Konica Minolta. See you in the next episode.